Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Peter Hoffman.
And I'm Mackenzie Clark. Thank you for joining us.
A Muncie man is in jail tonight after police found another man dead on the floor of his apartment. NewsLink Indiana's Cameron Riddle spent the day at the scene. He spoke with witnesses who knew the suspect, but can't imagine how he took someone's life.
38-year-old Billy Lipscomb was found stabbed to death in the Muncie apartment of the man suspected of killing him, 37-year-old Michael Williamson. Witnesses say Williamson ran from the home at 613 Jackson Street and into the village pantry next door, where police say he called 911.
Really don't know what they was doing inside. I didn't hear nothing. What happened over there to after I come out here? I see Big Mike over at the village pantry.
Williamson had told the operator that Lipscomb had threatened to kill him and that he had stabbed Lipscomb in the chest.
Why he would kill somebody and stab him to death, I don't know, but I can get crazy like that too. Somebody threatens my life.
Joshua Taylor, who has known Williamson since high school, says whatever happened in the home was self-defense and that Williamson would never hurt anyone.
He could hurt somebody if he wanted to. I mean, he could just push you down with one arm, anybody. And I've seen people hit him and him just turn his cheek, walk away. He's not violent by nature whatsoever. He's never been arrested in his life for any type of violent crime. At 40-something years old, you just don't flip a switch and murder somebody for no reason. It just don't happen.
Williamson's next-door neighbors say whatever happened in that house was probably related to drugs, a problem that they say has overrun the neighborhood.
He's a big old pothead. He done pain pills. He done crystal meth. He done it all that. When I lived on 12th Street, it was the same thing. It took me for 2 weeks to get the odor out of the house when he moved out of there, because he had traffic running in and out. I found crack pipes. So the address is at 514 West 12th. It's vacant now because I moved out of there because of all the stuff that's been going on in there. And then I moved my granddaughter and them over here, and now they're taking a chance of getting hurt outside, and that's too close to home.
Williamson has been charged with murder and booked in the Delaware County Jail. As for the victim, 38-year-old Billy Lipscomb, he's the same man that made headlines last month after he was found guilty of robbing his mother for her cell phone. He was serving 2 years probation. Reporting on the west side, Cameron Riddle, NewsLink Indiana.
Thank you, Cameron. Homecoming brought a lot of fun to students, but also left some students coming back to broken-in homes and cars. NewsLink Indiana's Paris Bousselon has the story.
I'm here at a house on Main Street where an attempted robbery was made Friday night. The door was beaten, but luckily nobody was home and nobody broke in. The only damage was done to the door.
During homecoming, there were a number of house and car break-ins, but according to the Ball State and Muncie Police Department, however, it was nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we came back from air jam late at night and we saw the back door was broken into, and we realized that somebody tried to break into our house, but thankfully the deadbolt held, and we called the cops and they came over, but they said they couldn't do anything about it because there was no footprints or fingerprints or anything like that. And nothing was stolen, so we got lucky, I guess. Yeah. And right after we got broken into, we decided to go out and buy a bunch of motion detector lights and put them up all around the house to light up the house outside.
Now, it is suggested that when you leave your house for class or at any point during the day, lock up your doors and lock up your cars and make sure none of your personal belongings are visible. For NewsLink Indiana in Muncie, I'm Paris Bousselon.
Make sure to take proper precaution and lock your house and door whenever you leave.
And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Demi Johnson talks about what Ball State and the Peer Advocate team is doing to bring awareness to campus.
So the Office of Victim Services provides a training opportunity to undergraduate and graduate level students. They can go through the Peer Victim Advocate training program. It's a 10-week program that runs through the fall semester for an hour and 15 minutes every week. And so during that time, we go over a variety of topics around sexual assault, sexual harassment, intimate partner violence, stalking, the criminal justice system, the campus judicial process, laws, and how to really be an advocate who's on call and can respond to their peers in crisis.
The month of October represents awareness for a number of different causes, one of which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Ball State's peer advocate team, located in the Office of Victim Services, is doing their best to make their voices heard, especially during the month of October.
So this October is the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so in honor of the National Month, the Office of Victim Services and the Peer Victim Advocate team are offering just a variety of active and passive programs, again, just to honor survivors, to try to raise some awareness in our community about this issue, and to give students an opportunity to get involved.
Be sure to check out events happening around campus that advocate domestic violence awareness. In Muncie, for NewsLink Indiana, I'm Demi Johnson.
And you can learn more about the Peer Advocate program by visiting the Office of Victim Services located in the Student Health Center.
The Muncie City Council has approved the 2016 budget. The council approved budgets totaling roughly $40 million. This approval includes the $26.1 million towards general funds. City Council member Allison Quirk says there are 2 pay raises in the salary ordinances that the Muncie City Council is adopting. Now that the city budget has been approved, the Delaware County City Council could be approving their budget this week. County budget changes may include a pay raise.
The recently vacated position of Indiana House Majority Floor Leader has been filled today. House Republicans have chosen Representative Matt Lehman for the position through a private caucus vote after former House Leader Judd McMillan resigned last week. McMillan stepped down after a scandal that involved a sex video sent from his phone. This marks the second time that there has been a shift in the House Republican leadership in the past year. Lehman has been a member of the Indiana House since 2008. His previous position as state lawmaker is set to be filled October 22nd.
Indiana Democrats drafted an anti-discrimination bill on Tuesday to protect those in the LGBT communities with state civil rights laws. The bill would prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in public accommodations, employment, and housing. Senate Minority Leader Anderson native Tim Linnane said he plans on sponsoring the proposal. Several Indiana cities have implemented laws on their own. Carmel passed an anti-discrimination law Monday after weeks of contentious debate. Well, Peter, it was freezing cold on our homecoming weekend.
It was, unfortunately, our senior year, Mackenzie.
Our senior year.
My goodness, but the students, I think, still had a good time.
You know what? There's always that pride. We always support the Ball State Cardinals. But let's toss it to Michael Behrens and see will it be cold on our senior fall break.
Well, you know, I think I got a lot of the blame for that. I kind of had to duck and hide at points during the homecoming game because that was one of the coldest days we've had in a while and one of the coldest days we actually have compared to anything we have in the 7 days. Things are looking much nicer. A little cooler for the fall break weekend, but things warm up for the Monday and Tuesday we actually get off from school. Now, temperatures out here 62 degrees right now, partly cloudy skies, the winds from the north-northwest about 5 miles per hour. We're going to see some fog building tonight. That's really the only big story we have, as radar here across the region pretty much just crystal clear. All this stuff around Indianapolis just radar clutter. And actually, as we go up to a bigger scale here, there's really no rain to our east. There's no rain to our west until you get back out into parts of Colorado, Wyoming. So we really have a dry stretch of weather coming up here until Friday. Friday, we're going to have some rain chances early in the day, late in the day on Thursday. Really the only rain chances we have coming up in our 7-day forecast. When we get to the main weather, we're going to take a look at those rain chances for Friday, the possibility of the cooler weather for the weekend, but warmer weather after that, and what we can expect during fall break here in Muncie.
Michael, coming up, puppies in the fall, how Ball State is bringing the cuteness to campus.
And we'll have the latest from South Carolina as the state continues their fight against the floods.
Well, I don't know what you could want more than dogs and donuts, and lucky for you, CCIM will be bringing them to Botswan tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The event is for communication students to relieve some stress during those midterms. There will be many CCIM pets ranging from dogs and cats and turtles to all the way to rabbits. The CCIM faculty will also be catering Concannon's Donuts. Freshman Sophie Craven explains why she's excited to take a break with some furry friends.
Good for students because living in dorms, we don't really have like any contact with animals or pets. So like having that little bit of like contact and just being able to like be cheered up by them is good, and it's uplifting, and it'll kind of help relieve some stress.
And more from campus community tonight. The Office of Student Life approved a new organization last Thursday. The new club is called Alpha Delta Kappa, which is open to all education majors, but it is required that all members have at least a 3.0 GPA. Founders are Ball State University professor Lynette Varner and sophomore Chloe Woodruff. The club is based on the Alpha Delta Kappa International Organization. Woodruff has this to say to prospective members.
Out and see what what we're about. One of the best benefits of Alpha Delta Kappa is going to be all the networking that you're going to be able to do within the Muncie community chapter of Alpha Delta Kappa and through the whole entire United States. And I just think it's an amazing, beneficial thing for educators to be involved in, and we're excited to meet you.
The organization is holding a call-out meeting Wednesday, October 28th at 6 p.m.
The mother of Chris Harper Mercer, who killed 9 people at a community college in Oregon, was active online under the name Tweety Bird. Laurel Harper frequently posted on forums like Yahoo Answers and Nurse Together. Topics varied from health to firearms. The postings make references to Harper having an autistic son and a family with a strong pro-gun views.
And GOP presidential hopeful Marco Rubio missed a vote today while campaigning in New Hampshire. According to CNN, the Florida senator was absent from the annual National Defense Authorization Act vote. The bill passed 73 to 26. Donald Trump has singled out the presidential candidate, according to NBC News. In a tweet last week, Trump called Rubio a lightweight senator with the worst voting record in the Senate. Rubio is defending his missed votes and said most of a senator's job is constituent services and not necessarily on the Senate floor. Previously, Rubio has stressed the importance of voting. Since announcing his candidacy in April, he has missed 42% of votes, a total of 59.
Flooding continues to cause major problems in South Carolina today. A number of dams have been breached and could cause more flooding in other parts of the state. CNN's Polo Sandoval has the story from Columbia.
The skies have cleared, but the dangers from rising waters continue in South Carolina.
Just because there is no rain and just because the sun is out, we are now looking at downstreams, waters, and other areas that are going to be affected.
At least 9 dams have breached or failed since the record rainfall started over the weekend. Mandatory evacuations are in effect for some of the hardest hit areas, and it could get worse.
We're starting to see that the Midlands, now all that water is going to start moving down to the low country, and so we are going to be extremely careful.
At least 14 people have died due to the storm system from both drownings and traffic accidents. More evacuations are likely as floodwaters rise in certain areas. The mayor of Columbia says keeping people safe is the primary focus.
We made the priority of saving lives our #1 priority, and then making sure that people have some basic quality of life, have shelter, food, have clean water to drink.
Moving forward, quality of life will be a challenge for many residents. Some will have to rebuild everything they lost.
Sad because people have lost their businesses, they've lost homes, and it affected everybody across the board. It did not discriminate.
Meteorologists say some rivers might not crest for another 2 weeks. Early estimates put the damage from the storms in the billions of dollars. In Columbia, South Carolina, I'm Polo Sandoval reporting.
And coming up, we'll have your full weather forecast.
And what you can expect for the fall weekend. Stay tuned.
Well, welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Now, if you didn't know, this weekend is fall break. Peter, do you have any plans besides watching movies alone in your house?
Wow. Wow. Well, not only that, I'll be doing some traveling around the state of Indiana. And Mackenzie, just because you can watch Netflix by yourself, is that what you're going to be doing this weekend?
No, actually, I'll be in Chicago. My dad is running the Chicago Marathon. He's done it for 14 years now, so I'm excited to go out and get to the fall.
That should give you the much-needed bump to your social life that we've all been waiting for. Michael Behrens, let us know how the weather is going to look tonight.
Oh man, guys, that was colder than the weather we have coming up in your forecast. I gotta let you know that. But it's a little cool tonight out there as well. Take a look at these temperatures. We're in the low 60s already. 62 here in Muncie, 60 Lafayette, 66 over in Indianapolis. And the temperatures tonight, they're going to get pretty close to the dew points. Now, we usually show you these in relative to humidity, but these actually affect fog as well. And when the temperatures get close to the dew point, we have that potential to develop fog across the region. And we're going to see that here tonight. Now, right now, there's no fog out there across the area, but we do sit under partly cloudy skies. The winds are light, another factor that's going to help play into the development of that fog. And these winds should remain light from the north in the overnight hours in about that 2 to 7 mile per hour range. Now, taking a look at radar, there's really nothing to show you here. Clear skies across the entire region. And as we take a wider look at radar, as we showed you during the first hit, there's really no rain coming our way in any big quantity again until Friday. That's our first and only real chance of rain coming up here in the 7-day. Now, switching over to precision cast now, you see the clouds across the region tonight. You see the fog develop as well as those sort of thicker areas of gray on the precision cast now. Now, more clouds do come through the area tomorrow when we stay under those partly cloudy skies, but no real rain threat working its way in here. Now, precision cast the visibility in the overnight hours tonight. It really does drop down here. We see that areas of fog pretty much across the entire east central Indiana. Visibilities do drop by the morning hours, but that does burn off as temperatures start to warm up tomorrow afternoon. Speaking of temperatures tomorrow, we get up into the middle 70s, 74 here in Muncie. The hour-by-hour forecast for you, things looking pretty good. Partly cloudy skies throughout the entire day. The temperatures again in the lower 70s for the afternoon hours. Going back to precision cast now, we'll continue to keep an eye on the cloud cover here through Thursday. That starts to build in intensity on Thursday evening. Now that's ahead of the next round of rain coming in Thursday night into early Friday. We see the rain showers here Friday at midnight. They start to work their way through our region. By the early morning hours, we can see the rain showers across east central Indiana, maybe a rumble of thunder in there as well. But those do move out of here by the afternoon hours on Friday. A few scattered showers left around the region along with the cloud cover. And that cloud cover is going to stick around and really linger throughout the area into Saturday. Now for the overnight hours tonight, 53 degrees, partly cloudy, the areas of fog again, the winds pretty light from the north in that 2 to 7 mile per hour range. For tomorrow, pretty nice looking weather here. Partly cloudy skies, fog early, 74 degrees the temperature. So things feeling pretty nice, and things feeling pretty nice on Thursday as well, ahead of our next round of rain. Thursday, 78 degrees the high. The rain showers don't show up until the afternoon hours. Again, we could see that possibility of a thunderstorm in there on Thursday evening into early Friday. The rain moves out of here by the afternoon hours of Friday. Sun returns for the weekend. A little bit cooler though on Saturday to start fall break, 64 degrees. The temperatures back up into the upper 70s by Monday though, during the fall break Monday and Tuesday. Things looking pretty nice, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 70s.
But can you guarantee this?
Can I guarantee this?
Can you guarantee this?
I mean, I would like to guarantee this. It's kind of my job.
So if this is incorrect, can I be like, Michael, you need to give me a candy bar or something?
I am held harmless for the
It's fall
actual
break.
weather.
Well, I understand. I want to know, mid 70s for October. Is that pretty normal?
You know, there's something I've always been told, and this goes to McKenzie. The mid 70s for this time of year, not unheard of, but as we like to say in meteorology, I am in promotion, not in production. I only get to tell you what the weather's going to be. I don't control it.
We're gonna
I'll give you grace.
We're gonna trademark that. After the break, hear from head football coach Pete Lembo after the tough loss this past weekend.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Ben Shern with sports. Ball State football head coach Pete Lembo had his weekly press conference this afternoon. The Cardinals are coming off a 24-10 homecoming loss at the hands of the Toledo Rockets. After starting the season 2-3, Coach Lembo said today that he is focused on improving the team's execution, but morale has not changed one bit.
The guys are doing fine. We're a little banged up after a real physical game, but their morale is very good, and and I don't ever make excuses with them. To the contrary, we take responsibility and try to own up to things. And I haven't even said this to them, but I'll say it to you guys. I mean, we've played a pretty tough schedule here, and we got to keep that in perspective, and keep in perspective that there's going to be some growing pains with a young quarterback and young kicker and some other guys in the lineup.
For the second time in 3 weeks, Ball State is traveling north to the state of Illinois as they take on the NIU Huskies. The Cardinals are looking for the first win against Northern Illinois since 2008 on Saturday. Well, it's finally October, which means basketball season is underway for the Ball State Cardinals and third-year head coach James Whitford. NewsLink Indiana's David Jones has more on the story.
Tipped and they get the rebound. Don't stop playing and roll your eyes and be like, oh, shoot, darn. Multiple efforts on defense to be successful.
After finishing last season at 7-23, Ball State needed to address the elephant in the room, their size. They went out and signed Chazé Teague at 6'8", Trey Moses at 6'9", and they convinced 7'1" Nate Wells to graduate from Bradley and to come over and play as a grad student.
Being able to stop the inside game is a lot like being able to stop the run in football, and it's been an Achilles heel for us, and we got more size inside. Being able to protect the rim should go a long way for us.
On the floor, as big men, we see a lot of the floor, and communicating to them and with their ball screen, what type of ball screens are happening and where to switch and whatnot.
Hey, fake, Sean. Oh, yeah.
Throw Niall Smith and Ryan Weber into the mix, and you have 5 new faces ready to play for the Cardinals this year.
I'm definitely excited. It should be a good year. Coach has got us all moving in the right direction, and everybody's doing what they're supposed to, so it should be a good year.
Ball State opens up their season Friday, November 13th at Bradley. In the Worthen Arena, I'm David Jones with NewsLink, Indiana.
To find out more information on the men's basketball team, visit ballstatesports.com. Well, the women's and men's golf team finished match play this afternoon. The women made the haul down to Cincinnati, taking 6th in the Bearcat Classic. The Cardinals were led by junior Allison Lindley, who took 20th place individually, shooting a 76 this afternoon. Meanwhile, the men's team took 16th in the Firestone Invite in Akron. Low scorer for Ball State was sophomore Johnny Watts, shooting 3 under par for the tournament to place him 9th. The men's team's next match is this coming Monday in Carmel, while the women's teams will tee off this Sunday in Noblesville. Well, guys, one final note that I want to add before we clock off this evening for the sports is that Andrew Luck took the majority of the snaps in today's Colts practice, and he also said that he's prepared to start this Thursday night's game at the Texans.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks were concerned about that in the region, as well as some fantasy owners around the nation. Thank you so much.
AKA Peter's fantasy team. Anyways, when we come back with NewsLink Indiana, we'll have one last look at weather. All right, Michael, one last time, what do we expect this weekend?
Well, things looking pretty good. Rain chances do pop up here on Friday. It cools us down for Saturday, but after that, the 70s return and things look good for a fall break.
All right, well, that's all for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Enjoy your evening.
Have a good night.